behalf of Nah Nah Thong, we have Isaac, with Diana. We're all happy for you guys to be here with us tonight. And where's my husband, the DJ, the contractor? He does it all. Okay, so please, if I can have Miss Diane Papankam, CEO, President of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central California. And our famous Lao Arthur who put us on the map. Let's give it up for Saeng Douangdara.
Hi everyone.
All right. Welcome to Fresno.
Oh my god, it's so cool but hot to be in Fresno, but thank you for making it out here. I'm loving it so far.
This is exciting. Oh my gosh. Tell us about your experience. You've been to other places, right?
Yes, so this is below Philly and now Fresno. So then if you have friends tomorrow, we're actually going to be headed to SF, and that one's the only free event, so we don't know who's going to show up, but let them know. Yeah.
And you mentioned Hawaii, no?
And Hawaii, we're going to end it off in Hawaii on May 23rd, so if you have any family or friends there, let them know.
Okay, I want to make this fun. These questions are great, but I want to know about you.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself. I'm sure everybody in here wants the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yeah, we're going to share all the teas coming out tonight, everyone. So for me, how many of you are from Wisconsin, the Midwest? Raise your hands. Really, just me? So I was raised in Wisconsin, the Midwest boy, but also before that I was born in a refugee camp, and my family came to the U.S. rather late, in like 91 when they were ending the camps. A lot of people are actually not aware that they ended the camps in like 96, so a lot of people were still coming along. But we ended up in the Midwest, and that's where I grew up most of my life, and then I went to live in Hawaii for 2 years to get my master's in counseling psychology. And, thank you. So I'm actually a trained mental health counselor, but I decided to pursue a different path, my passion in cooking and representing and showing up for Lao cuisine in the community. And it's been 10 plus years of living in the internet, and now I'm out here in the real world. And so I just want to, thank everyone here of just supporting and coming out. I think it's such a beautiful moment to be able to come together as a community and show up at Lao and proud, because for far too long, we've been here for over 50 years and not having like a truly Lao-centered cookbook. So I hope that you see yourself in this book and that you can be part of the Lao food movement and share it far and wide.
That's awesome. So, what got you into cooking? Did you start cooking when you were little, or now mom taught you?
I think for many of us, right? I was always in the kitchen with Matt. Like, she was very protective. She was like, outside world was unsafe. You can't go to slumber party. You can't hang out with your friends, but you can hang out with Matt in the kitchen. And so I was making egg rolls with her, helping her with dalmakung. And I think my passion for Lao food really blossomed when I left for college, because you can no longer get Lao food from your mom. And so that was when I was calling mom. She would send care packages. And even to this day, she sends care packages to California, where I live now, or LA. Recently, she sent me badak. And it's possible to send badak wrapped up several times so nothing leaks. And she has been the pro of mailing badak to my house.
Oh, moms, they're the best, aren't they? Yeah. Mother's Day and everything was just yesterday. Yeah. So what is your favorite Lao dish?
Okay. So my favorite, so I didn't like bitter flavors when I was younger, but I think, as you get older, your palate grows and develops. My favorite Lao dish now is gang kilik. How many of you like gang kilik? Oh my god, I love it, so good. Like,
traditional.
It's this dark green, murky looking dish, but it's so good, and like the herbs that you put in it, it's one of a kind. And I think that really truly represents Lao cuisine, because it's so hard to find. A lot of the ingredients you have to forage for that my mom would be doing. And even in Laos, you get gang kilik that has like kai mo dang. And so it's like the rare times you get to actually experience like Lao food in different ways depending on where you go in the world.
That is pretty neat. I didn't know that you like the traditional food. That's wonderful. Okay, so everybody wants to know,
And you guys, interactive, okay? After this, if you have some burning questions you want to ask, let's go ahead and ask them that. But what inspired you to write the nonfiction book?
So I was inspired to write the book because I just felt like there was not much representation for our people in our community. And with our history, I felt it was far too long that we needed something to really show us who we are without always having to explain ourselves. Because I think for me, like growing up in Wisconsin, it was always like, what's Lao? What's Lao? Where is that? What is that? And as a kid, I didn't have those resources. So what really inspires me to create this book is that to know that the next generation, your kids, your nieces, your nephews, when they're asked like, what is Lao food? You can just point to the Lao kitchen, read up. It's not just 95 recipes, but it is essentially more of our history, our culture, all wrapped up in food.
That's wonderful. Okay, so I have other questions like, how do you go about, you know what, writing a book is not easy. Cookbook, did it take you a long time? What were the challenges, the struggle, the process?
Yeah. So a lot of times, you know, we go to school and in college, no one tells us like, this is how to be an author, or this is how to be this. And so many of times, you know, I had to figure it out, and along the way, I met amazing people that kind of mentored me and helped me, like, oh, this is where who you should be talking to get this. And essentially, it took 6+ years to write this book. I started in around 2019 was when like that book inspiration came about. But at the time, you know, there wasn't much Lao representation within the textbook. And so for me, I wanted to write a book that really was with a mainstream publisher. So this is with Penn Speed Press under Penguin Random House. And at the time I had a book proposal and I was shopping my book proposal around, but no one would give me the time of day. Ignored, right? But I think that's an important piece of this journey, that you're gonna get so many no's in life, but if you truly want it, you're gonna find that one yes. And so 3 years after 2019, I finally got a yes, actually through TikTok. So I made a video on TikTok saying like, I want to write a cookbook one day, and it'll be called this. And so like, I hope that it's like you're manifesting your own dreams and your wishes and what you want for your community. And then essentially after that TikTok, one of the editors from the publisher, she's a fan of mine, and so she reached out and was like, hey, I think you would be a good candidate to write a book. And then 3+ years after that, I started working on it, and I go to Laos at least once a year. And so for me to be able to develop the recipes from like mom's home cooking, but also cooking in Laos, kind of putting that all into the book.
6+ year, guys. That's written with love right there. This is so amazing that you're representing us. This is legacy in the making. I love it that other culture, other people could take this cookbook and learn and make it. Secret, I don't know how to cook to save my life, so I'm actually really excited. A lot of my family and friends, they saw the video that I did, so now the challenge is for me to make something. So I don't know, guys. Any suggestion what I should make?
What should she make first?
Any suggestion? I think the
Oh, genki like, and I'm not gonna eat it?
Oh my
I'm not gonna
God,
try your
girl,
genki.
you're gonna have to help me then.
I can see you making
Mopa? Okay, I need you to come help me. Maybe we'll do it in my backyard with the bamboo. Okay, so you know what? Is there any other questions? Some people are like, I want to ask him this. Is there any questions? Because I know we have some chef in the house. And no, this is your chance. I want to give the interactive. Huh? Give him the mic. See, I have tons of questions, but I want you guys to be a part of this. This is what it's about. Okay, raise your hand. Question? Let's make it interactive. This is the best way.
So, do you ever make anything in bulk? Like, make a bunch of paste and then put it in the freezer? Or do you just have it throughout the week? Or like, with the toasted rice?
Yeah.
Like, do you have like a bulk, like, thing that you do?
Yeah, no, I think most of the time, like a lot of our moms and aunties, we cook in bulk. We cook for families, we cook for parties. And so essentially that's where I started when I was developing this book, but I had to scale down to what does it mean to cook Lao meals for your partner or for like just a small family. And so when you're opening a book and using it, I like to say it's a primer on how to understand Lao cuisine and the different techniques. And then I encourage you, if you do have like big parties and celebration, it is a little bit different to cook in bulk because there's so much prep work and so much thumbing along the way. And I usually tell people like my YouTube page is actually where I cook in larger bulk size, but this book is more for like the smaller smaller families to help them introduce them to Lao food at least.
You want to hand the mic?
What's like freezable? Is the paste freezable?
The what paste?
Do you freeze the paste?
Oh yeah, I freeze a lot of stuff. So like things, I think I make a lot of mokba, I freeze that. Saku yatsai, one of my favorite dishes, I freeze that. The only thing so this is my reference code, the only thing that I don't freeze is when you use fresh herbs. So like lab, you can't really freeze that because you want freshness. So anything that you steam or bake and that is the finished endpoint, you can freeze those.
Hi. So, in your book, if you remember, what was the first recipe that you wanted to add to the book, and what was the last recipe that you were able to add?
Great
Because
question.
I know it's really hard to
I love that
whittle
question.
down
Yeah.
recipes.
So the first recipe I for sure wanted to add to the book was tamakung, Lao papaya salad. I think so many times our community gets dismissed in terms of like papaya salad. It's like we don't think about Laos, but that's where Lao papaya salad originated from. And so actually, if you look at the page in the book, I forgot what page it is, but that's actually the photo that I wanted for the cover because I felt like it really resonated, like a funky, delicious, spicy Lao food. But within this cookbook process, I'm not the only one that chooses like how the book looks. It's a whole team process, and I give my input. But essentially, like tamakung was the one that I wanted for sure to be on there, and including the history. A lot of the head notes that I write on each recipe is either like personal stories or the history of Lao cuisine from my perspective. And then the last recipe that I added, it's the dessert recipe called Khanom Mo Tot. How many of you have had that? Khanom Mo Tot. It's a Luang Prabang dish. Luang Prabang is like the food capital of Laos, so they have so much unique, delicious foods. It looks like a donut hole, but it's not. It's made out of sticky rice, and it's kind of like kaudong. There's a sticky rice in the middle, and it's deep fried, and you eat it, and it's like crispy, sweet. That recipe was one of the harder ones for me to recipe test several times, but the recipe now in the book is so good, so I hope you try to make it. That took a lot of work.
That's awesome. You know what? There's some people that came from Oregon. The ladies in the corner, why don't you guys come up over here? There's some questions you want to ask? Come on up. Don't be shy, because we have a lot of people that travel really, really far. They want me to go over there with the mic? Come over here, guys. Come over here. We're a family here. This is how Fresno does it. We show up for each other, and we make it interactive because it's all about you guys. You guys came tonight, and you showed up, and I want to make sure that if anybody has a question for Saeng, I want you guys to ask them. Anybody else have any questions? Coming. Get over here, ladies.
I'll be here all night, don't worry.
I've been following you, as I shared earlier, on YouTube channel. There's so many things to love about you. I love your ways of explaining things. I love your presentation, but more importantly, what I love about you is that you could hear it in your voice that you are truly proud of your Lao heritage. And so I could resonate with that, and I wanted to know, where did that come from?
Yeah, well, thank you for that question. It's been a journey of your Lao identity, your Lao food and culture. It's a journey of each of our own. Like every path is so different. I've come across so many people that, it takes time to understand your parents. Our family, our people's history is really complex and complicated. And so I think for me, I really had to take the time to slow down, talk to my parents one-on-one, finally get to a point where they could actually finally share their stories and understand where they were coming from as like in their 20s and 30s, what they had to deal with. And for me, that gave me empathy for them and like, wow, you, mom and dad, you didn't bring anything besides the recipes and the clothes is on your back. And so I'm reminded of that constantly to know that that's our gold, that's our treasure. So with the book that you have in your hand, that is our gold as a community, and I think that's why I feel so passionate about Lao food. I hope for the book that we can, as a community, move forward in centering Lao food, that we don't always have to say, Lao food and this, like you can just explain yourself. You don't need to explain other people's story. You just need to explain your own story, your family's, and then I think that's the route to being seen and represented in the most authentic way because you're telling your story.
Amen to that. Okay, so I also have a question over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. sorry. It's a light.
I'm sorry. So I'm sorry if I missed this, but what area of Laos are you from?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
how every area has very
Yeah, it's
distinct
different.
dishes. Like I'm from the north. We got a lot of country around here, right north. So we're known for supat,
Yeah.
right? So what is your area? What is the main dish in that area?
Yeah, so I'm from the south, Savannah Kid. How many of you are from Savannah Kid? Really? No one? It's just we represent. I love it. We're here too. So we have some Savannah Kid Southerners or Paksay. How many of you are from Paksay? Beautiful. So I think that also explains my POV when I'm writing the book. Like I grew up with a mom from Savannah Kid, and so it was very Badak heavy. My mom was the Badak lady in the town. Everyone would go to her to get her gallons and gallons of Badak. So, you know, it takes at least a year to make good Badak. And in the small town of Janesville, Wisconsin, you only had a few people had different skills. Like everyone in their different villages, one lady was like make specialty kawpok, one lady was specialty supak, and so my mom was the Badak lady. And I like to say that like 50% of the book is like my mom, like upbringing of like what Lao food was to me, and the other 50% was actually traveling to Laos, learning from the other Lao moms and aunties of the north, of the south. And I tried my best to like accentuate the specialties and also the regional dishes of like supat or like khao soi Lao or of Kowloon food, like to include these dishes that often we'll only know if we are in different areas. So I encourage you when you open the book to kind of take a peruse of each one. You can kind of go through it like, oh, I know this one, I don't know this one, and that kind of creates that conversation piece of why don't I know it? Because it's probably a different regional dish.
Let's try it, everybody. You have the cookbook, and we have someone right here. Where are you from, right here?
I'm outside of Portland, Oregon. I live in Fairview, Oregon. We drove here Friday morning for 14 hours because I heard of the Lao New Year at Granite Park. And so literally came in at 11 p.m., slept in the parking lot in the camper van and went to the Lao New Year sports at Granite Park. But I wanted to share with you, saying that this is meant to be that I get to have you sign the cookbook that I knew I was going to purchase ahead of ever knowing you were going to be here. So this is faith that I get to meet you in person now and have you sign my book. Because that book I'm going to be leaving for my kids who do not speak Lao. I'm really bad. I'm a bad mom. They're not speaking Lao.
They're not.
This middle generation. So hopefully with your book, they'll carry the tradition on cooking Lao food or no Lao food ingredients. So thank you for doing this book.
Thank you. So I think this shows the resilience of our community. Like, you know, you make the drive for Lao food, for Lao community. So I think that's such a beautiful gift for me to receive. So thank you so much for sharing that. And I want to say you're not a bad Lao mom. I think a lot of us, you know, from different generations, we take on so much. Our parents take on so much. And I want to just say to release that, to not hold yourself back, because our kids, your nieces and nephews, they'll find their ways eventually. And I think a lot of the times it's just leading them, gently leading them, not shaming them, maybe a little bit, but not too much. But I think even for myself, like my two sisters now, they have kids that are half Lao and half Mexican, half white. And I think it's such a beautiful sight to see like multicultural families find their space in this world of their culture. And there's no right way. So I think we do our best. You know, thank you.
Thank you for that. I was touched. When I heard where she came from, I was like, what? You didn't come and chat. Anybody else? I heard someone else had a question. And then I stopped. I know I'm from Bien Bien.
No. Well, we're all just really proud. I can't get out of the mic.
Like Mariah Carey, yeah, put it.
Okay, Mariah Carey.
Mariah Carey.
All right, baby. Let's do this. So first of all, like we're all super proud. Obviously, I mean, the book. I finally opened it today because I've been super busy, but it's a true love letter to not just Laos but Nopaba. And we talked about this earlier, and I was like, I really know. I didn't realize how much a book can touch us. I didn't realize that we needed this. And like, I mean, more than anything, I want to say thank you. Like, Khop Jai, for real.
Khop Jai, no. Honestly, the love I've been receiving on this tour has been tremendous. Like, I think it's not just healing experience for our community, but it's done so much for my heart and soul. So thank you for everyone for showing up. And like you said, like I wanted the book to be a piece where when you open it, you're literally transported into Laos, whether you're from the north or south. All the photos in the book I took myself, and so I am so happy that the lifestyle photos and then the food styling photos I took in my apartment with my dog Galabao on the side. You'll see her throughout the photos. So I hope that you enjoy this piece of work.
Anybody else? This is your chance. I'm giving you guys the mic. Oh, okay. I knew it. Hold on. Someone else traveled quite far too. Where is she? She's back. Oh, LA.
Hey, how are you?
Good.
I'm so happy to hear that you're also in psychology. I'm a psychotherapist at in Los Angeles. So I wanted to ask, our generation has done so much to try to grow and influence the younger generation. And 6 years, most people would want to give up, for the third year. Oh, sorry. What would you give as far as advice to the younger generation to not give up? I know we have a lot of, the room here is full of professionals, and so proud that there's like a lot of the Asian professionals around here, so we need more, right? So what would you say if you want to quit college, quit school? What can you give them to aspire to, continue with your goals?
Yeah, so the topic of not giving up. Along the way, of course, you'll have those down moments, and I've had them myself. But I think it's more of the people that I've surrounded myself with, the friends and family that always encourage your dreams. I think if you are around people and you're about to give up and they don't encourage you, I would ask you to question the people that you're around. Most of the time, the journey is never, I think, you see the book now, they're like, amazing, right? But it's the 6-year process to get there, whatever you decide your passion is, or even as a young person in this day, like the world is changing constantly. And I would say for myself, I think a lot of the times I look at like the adults that are around me. For me, I was a UCLA counselor for like 5-6 years, and I was talking to my students like, we're working our ways to reach your dreams, to reach your passion, whether that's becoming a doctor, an author, a singer, whatnot. And I think that was a reflection on myself. I was like, am I truly happy? Am I telling myself that as well? And so I also put this question back to the adults that are talking to our younger generation, that they need to see that you are also pursuing your dreams, your passions, that you have not given up. Because I think you are the light that is around them. So when it comes to how to inspire the next generation, I say we have to do it as a community, that you have to continue working on yourself to be able to move towards those dreams, whatever those are, because that's when your kids and your other people around you are essentially seeing how you're doing, and they want to inspire to that. So I think when the kids talk to me and they aspire to be the next TikToker, the next YouTuber, which is, I encourage that. I don't discourage much at all. If it's something they love and want to pursue, you may not have the knowledge, but you have the community that you can connect them to. And I think that's the most important piece, to connect the generation to the right people so that they can slowly climb and get to where they need to be.
Wonderfully said. Anybody else? I just did a keynote speaking at Fresno Unified School District Friday, and we have to have a seat at the table. All of us. We need to remember our roots, where we come from, all the sacrifices our parents made, but then remember that we ourselves are the leaders of tomorrow, and we got to teach our future generation as well. So thank you for that. There is one thing he's signing right now.
Just because she has to pick up her daughter.
Oh, she has to pick up her daughter from school.
Yes. But he'll
You
sign
mentioned
after.
the word funky to describe Lao food. A lot of people was asking about that. So, okay. That's okay. We accommodate. She has to pick up her babies. We're good with that. So we'll ask him, why does he describe Lao food as funky? But anybody else before we're going to have the book signing soon. This is your time to shine. Any urgent question? You? You have a question? Did you answer the funky question?
You gotta answer the funky question first.
So why do I describe as funky food? So this book, I hope you all take the time to read the book because there's a lot of information, a lot of history. I think there's so much value in the writing. We took 3 years to do that writing back and forth, but essentially I write a lot about the word funky because it's reclaiming what I grew up in the 90s of like my mom hiding the badak under the sink, or like when someone that was not Lao came to the house, you were hiding all the ingredients that she was not proud of. And I think to this day, like I think how I model making Lao food, that I'm not scared of badak. I'll share it online. Maybe I share too much. But I think it's this way of knowing that, you know, our food can be funky, to acknowledge that, but also it can be funky delicious. It can be a positive thing in our life, and to not walk away from that, because that's essentially who we are as a community. So I use the term funky as a way to empower the community, empower our food, because I think that's also what makes it so different and delicious. Always add the funk anywhere you go with your papaya salad.
I tell our customers pungent, but now I'll say funky. So I've been following you for a long time, and I just want to know how, I guess, you know, the story behind it is the passion for food, but you make the recipe look so simple.
Yeah.
And that's not something simple for our generation. You know, so your parents must be very proud. If she instilled that within you and taught you everything and you made it your own and you brought it out, I told everyone, watch Saeng. He'll teach you how to cook because he makes it look easy. How do you make it look so easy?
Okay, so camera work makes it look easy. Editing, I can tell you that it takes dozens of tries to get to that point. So when you try a recipe in the book, don't give up if it doesn't look like it or taste like it. But this is for you to be on your Lao cooking journey. This is for you to start. And I think within like videography and food photography, like my job is to make things look beautiful and easy. And so it's a challenge for me as well. Like even my badak, if you look at the badak page, that was hard to make look beautiful. But I think it looks beautiful in there now. So I always tell people there's always a way to make things look beautiful, to make things look clean and crisp. And I think that's the missing piece of like how we show off our food.
And that's the motivation that we're looking for.
Yeah.
It's very motivating.
Yeah. Look at this restaurant, beautiful. Your food, beautiful.
Delicious too. So what's next? After this, what's going on? What's your next
Project or next stop?
project?
Okay.
A movie?
So there is some type of media in the works that is like long form, maybe documentary style. That's going to be years in the making, but if you want to support, I encourage you to check out my pages, Saeng's Kitchen on YouTube or Saeng Douangdara on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram. We're going to be sharing a little bit more about that, but essentially I want to use my skills in videography and food styling in a way to storytell through videos, a much longer form, because I think there's a really important story that we can tell through Lao food.
That's exciting. You guys, if you don't follow him, make sure to follow him.
That's great.
And I'm excited, so I won't feel bad if my home doesn't taste good, right?
It's fine.
I know you'll help me. Thank you so much. If you guys have nothing else to say, there's going to be a book signing. I want to be mindful of your time as well. We really appreciate you thinking of Fresno, making a stop here. My goodness. The love that you guys show, thank you so much, everybody. You guys are simply amazing. Yes.
Amazing. All
Oh,
right.
gang sign.
Sure you guys know.
Here we go. Ready?
Everybody.
Welcome to. Oh wait, no, I did it wrong. Fresno, welcome to. Upside eye. Beautiful. And I'll be doing book signings and photos right over there, so we can create a organized line.